Welcome to Larry's Library, and welcome to another edition of the Sunday Scan. Every Sunday I read a single issue comic from my unread bin, and I take some notes about it. And then once a month I go through 4 of those and share the covers with you, some interior art, and I read the contents of those notes. So this month we are taking a look at ElfQuest, the Epic Colored Reprints, issues 13 through 16. So, we'll get started with my notes for issue 13. This story is called The Warning and the Way. Cutter and Skywise are shown some artwork on the walls of the human cave. And the artwork, it seems to depict a tall mountain with elves that ride eagles. Like Cutter's tribe rides wolves, but these are eagle riding elves. So they set out to find this mountain. Meanwhile, back at the village of the Sun Folk, the Mother of Memories is in a trance-like state. And I'll show you page 9 here. Nobody can seem to get her out of this state. So it's kind of wild. And Cutter and Lita's child, Suntop, is somehow able to link with the Mother of Memories' mind. What Suntop sees through the Mother of Memories' mind is some sort of evil or danger that Cutter must face. They're not sure exactly what it is, but it scares them. So Lita leaves with most of Cutter's tribe to find Cutter and Skywise and warn him about whatever this is the Mother of Memory is seeing, and Suntop in turn is seeing. ElfQuest 14, the story is called The Lodestone. And here we see Cutter and Skywise have agreed to help the 2 humans that saved Cutter find their way back to their own village. Doesn't seem to take too long, and they get the humans back to their own village. And meanwhile, Lita and company are following the trail, still yet looking for Cutter. One of those humans try to steal Skywise's lodestone right from around his neck, but Skywise cuts off the guy's thumb as he's trying to steal the lodestone, hanging around his neck. I'll show a scan of that from page 17. It's pretty wild. Another thing that happens here is Cutter's wolf, Night Runner, he retires as he's too old, and he just can't continue on with the quest. So Skywise's wolf, Starjumper, goes off with the older wolf to hunt for him, as is their tradition. They're not going to send him off to die on his own. So Starjumper, goes off with him, and he's going to hunt for him until the ends of his days, presumably. And issue 15, The Forbidden Grove. Here, Cutter and Skywise travel through this creepy forest, super creepy forest, all kinds of spiderwebs looking stuff, and dark, and it's hard for them to navigate, and they're trying to find the human chief's lost daughter. Now, ElfQuest 16 is pretty interesting. This story is called Noisy Bad High Thing. So, after an encounter with some web-spinning fairies, Cutter and Skywise are finally reunited with their families. And so we get to meet yet another weird race in the ElfQuest world here. They're basically like fairies. In relation to the elves, they're like maybe that tall, and they flit around on like butterfly-like wings, and they throw out these webs, and they can web up anything, even large creatures. They can web them up, and I think it sort of puts the people to whatever they've webbed up they're not necessarily dead, but they're like in a suspended state of animation. I think it kind of puts them to sleep. So that is wild, and we're not sure at this point in this issue if these creatures are evil or good or what their deal is, but more to come on that, you can tell. So yeah, through these 4 issues, one thing that's for sure is we're getting more and more world building as we go along. We're starting to learn about more races. We're seeing more diverse groups of humans, and the elves are learning more right along with us. They're finding out that not all humans are evil, and that some can help them, well, I think we're going to find out, too, that not all elves are good. And that's sort of hinted at in some of the things they're seeing here. So it's going to be really interesting to see where this goes next. With 16, we're right at the halfway point in the Marvel Epic line, the Epic run of ElfQuest. So I hope you like taking a quick look at those. So please give me a thumbs up if you like this, subscribe for more, and I will catch you next time.